This video is brought to you by Audible.com. The HTC One is among the best looking Android devices out there. Apple's iPhone, on the other hand, has set the gold standard in phone design in recent years. Two gorgeous devices, the HTC One and iPhone 5, happen to differ drastically in everything else. Big screen versus a small screen, Android versus iOS. So which one should you pick? This is Victor from PhoneArena, helping you take the most important decision in your life. That must be it. Get ready. The One is a crucial launch for HTC. Made out of two aluminum plates with a slight curve on the back, it fits comfortably, almost organically in the hand. Almost. It's bigger than the iPhone, yet does not feel awkward to hold. You can tell HTC cared about every detail. The chamfered edges, the metallic volume rocker, the large centered camera eye on the back, all of that feels well composed, solid. The iPhone 5 also has a preference for aluminum. It is solid, but it also looks tiny in comparison. Great for those who value single-handed use, and not so great for those who want a bigger display. It's all about priorities. Speaking of screens, the HTC One comes with a noticeably larger 4.7-inch display compared to the 4-inch screen on the iPhone 5. Both are of the LCD variety, and both are among the very best out there. First, the HTC One. It packs a 4.7-inch 1080p Super LCD 3-screen with amazing viewing angles and great colors. It's stunningly sharp, coming with a pixel density of 468 ppi. It is, however, a little dimmer than what we've seen from HTC before, and it's pretty reflective, which makes it a bit hard to use outdoors. The iPhone 5 has a smaller 4-inch Retina display, a term that now seems a bit strange to use, as most other rivals like the HTC One have sharper screens than the iPhone. Still, the iPhone 5 screen looks very sharp and viewing angles are great. Colors are nearly perfectly calibrated, whites are white, blacks are deep. Both devices are comparable in their near-perfect color quality. And now let us say a few words about our sponsor, Audible.com. Audible is a leading audiobook service with a catalog of over 100,000 hit titles, like The Hunger Games or 50 Shades of Grey, just to name a few. What's more, if you go to audiblepodcast.com/PhoneArena, you'll be able to download one free audiobook and listen to it at any time on any device. So if you want to get started with this beautiful service, just head over to audiblepodcast.com/PhoneArena. The HTC One and iPhone 5 are not just different in size, they're different at their very core. While the One runs on the customizable Android, the iPhone 5 runs on the closed iOS. Android has improved by leaps and bounds in recent years, adopting modern looks and a much more user-friendly face. HTC's One is based on Android Jelly Bean with Sense on top, which has both its pros and cons. HTC introduces some key improvements when it comes to the photographic aspect of the OS. The gallery is rich in options, offering plenty of tweaks like automatic creations of video highlights out of your camera roll, and it also integrates photos from Facebook and adds plenty of editing capabilities. HTC's take on the home screen with the Blink feed, the tile-based news and social updates aggregator, and the app drawer, however, are a bit of a mixed bag. Folders on the home screen are not supported, the back button in Sense is simply unpredictable, and there are more niggles that compromise Google's efforts on making Android more consistently user-friendly. Apple's iPhone 5, on the other hand, runs iOS 6.1. Most recently, Apple's operating system has been evolving in very small steps and is clearly lagging behind Google's Android. It has retained its simple, user-friendly icon grid, but offers little customization and sharing options. The HTC One runs on the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 600 chip with a 1.7 GHz quad-core processor. It definitely looks like the more powerful setup. It has to actually, having to drive many more pixels. Good news is performance was nearly always buttery smooth on the device. Apple's iPhone 5 is running on a custom-made Apple A6 system on a chip with a 1.3 GHz dual-core processor. Graphics are taken care of a Power VR chip. Performance is traditionally well-polished, smooth, and if you try to isolate graphics alone, Apple's chip seems to have a very slight advantage over the Adreno 320 graphics on the HTC One, but that difference is negligibly small. When it comes to the internal storage, the HTC One has the edge, as the basic model has 32 GB of memory, double that of the basic iPhone 5, which has 16 GB. Storage is non-expandable on both. Both devices feature 4G LTE connectivity, but surfing the web is definitely more enjoyable on the larger display of the One. HTC brings its own browser, which is a solid performer. It does support Adobe Flash and a wealth of options, from desktop view support to incognito mode and saving pages to read later. Android also helps by offering a vast selection of browsers, including Google's own Chrome with its amazing syncing capabilities. With a very capable processor, scrolling and zooming around in pages was buttery smooth. Apple's iPhone 5 comes with the mobile Safari browser. It does not support Adobe Flash, but it does load and render pages quickly. Scrolling around is also lag-free. The HTC One comes with a brand new ultra-pixel camera, and it has a daunting task as it goes against the iPhone 5, one of the best camera phones out there. After extensive testing, we say the HTC One has a very good but not a revolutionary camera. Still images are sharp in contrasting areas but somewhat spongy otherwise. Sometimes colors look a bit bleached on the One and detail is not always plentiful. The iPhone 5 has an edge here, capturing consistently accurate colors with great dynamic range and detail. When it comes to video recording though, the HTC One is oftentimes better than the iPhone 5. During the day, footage is comparable and we do prefer the more realistic colors on the iPhone. But when night falls and you go indoors, the HTC One just captures way more light. In a club or at a party when light is low, the One records usable footage with good sound, while recording on the iPhone 5 looks too dark and sound is a bit shallow. HTC also uses optical image stabilization, which makes a big difference for impromptu videos on the go. For media, HTC brings a small revolution in smartphone sound with its front-facing stereo speakers. Combined with Beats audio magic in the lower tonalities, sound is rich and clear with a surprising depth. There is just no place for comparison. The HTC One sets the bar too high. Sound recorded on the iPhone is loud but very plain, just like on most smartphones. Call quality is excellent on both the HTC One and Apple iPhone 5. Both handsets have noise cancellation that works great, and our callers reported hearing us in the natural tones of our voice. Using the HTC One for around a week, we can say that it easily gets us through a day of moderate use, while the iPhone 5 typically lasts a bit longer. The HTC One and Apple iPhone 5 bring out the best of modern smartphones. Both stand out with their distinctive, gorgeous designs. Both have stunningly sharp, vivid, amazing displays. It's quite clear that you can't go wrong with either of these amazing smartphones. Despite all their similarities though, there is a clear difference that will tip the scale one way or another when you decide to buy one of those devices. The HTC One has a larger screen and runs on the open Android, while the iPhone 5 is a compact handset made for convenient one-handed use and living on Apple's closed iOS. The iPhone 5's camera is the better all-around performer, while the HTC One performs admirably in low light. Use those differences to make the right choice for you. And for now, this is all. Check out our detailed comparison of the two devices at PhoneArena.com. Thank you for watching.